I received a call on the crisis hotline from a woman named Marie who was indicating that she was having thoughts of wanting to commit suicide. I was immediately concerned for her safety and began to ask her questions as to how long she had been considering it. Does she have a plan? What is her plan, and when and how will she carry out her plan? And she did express that she thought she might, overdose. I had to find out more about this to determine what type of immediate help Marie would need. So I set up a visit to go to her home, and I arrived to her home. And when I did arrive at her home, it was a mess. There was dirty laundry around and toys. The kitchen sink was full of dishes. The curtains were closed. There was no light in the home, and I heard Marie crying. She was in a corner, and she was holding her pill bottle. Excuse me. So when I had heard she was thinking about it, I knew that was like a red flag telling me I had to get there, which is why I went to the home visit. One, I initiated contact, which is how I use the hybrid model of crisis intervention. And the first task is to initiate contact. When I got to the home and I initiated contact with Marie, I had found out a couple of things. That her basic life needs were not being met. She had not eaten. She had no food in the home. She had not She had not had anything to drink within, like she said, 6 or 7 hours. And then as we spoke further, she told me that her children were in Children Protective Services. As she had taken some pills, and she was depressed. So I immediately sprang into action. Task 2 was to define the crisis, and that was how I defined the crisis, by finding out, that she had no power, no food, she had not anything to drink. And I didn't know how many pills or what she had taken. So the first thing I did is I did contact EMS to come and find out, make sure she was safe with the pills. The second thing I did is I contacted the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, and they were willing to help out with food, but they advised me that a mobile pantry was in the area where Marie lived. So what I was able to do is, she had a sister, she told me. I contacted her sister, who came over immediately, who was wanting to support her and help her. Her sister went to the mobile food pantry, was able to get some food to fill the cupboards, and some drinks to help Marie with hydration. Her sister also advised me that she would clean the home, she would do some laundry, and she would stay with Marie for a while. So that was task 3 in the hybrid model, with the providing support. I also told Marie that I was there for her, that I was working to get her some immediate help and some follow-up help, so that we could get her life back on track, so she could establish control of her life. Once I began speaking with Marie, she had told me that she didn't really want to commit suicide. She just wanted her problems to go away. And that was when I was able to kind of put that aside to know that she was safe as far as that went. And then we had to address the immediate needs that she had, and then the future needs that she was facing. So the food pantry is great too. I want to go back to that, because not only did they help provide with the immediate food need, they have many programs to help a single mom. Well, like Marie, she's single right now because her husband's in jail. But they have programs for children where they can, have food for the backpacks if she needs it. There's hot meals that can be delivered if that's needed. So the Cleveland Food Bank, Greater Cleveland Food Bank, is able to help Marie until she's able to get back on her feet. The next thing I did is I contacted First Energy. So I was able to get her power back on immediately through an assistance program. The program is called Affordable Energy Fuel Fund, and it's a very wonderful program that's funded by the electric company, partners, and employees. They help to pay for the electric bill for people who are suffering from financial hardship. So Marie did qualify immediately because she had no power, and they're going to pay her bill until the funds run out of the program. I'm hoping by then we can have her back in a position as an art teacher working, and she will be able to then pay her own power bill. Next, I contacted Children Protective Services in the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. I was able to visit with Marie's children. They are in a temporary foster care. They appear to be happy, they are scared, and they are missing their mother. But they feel safe, and they'd like to see their mother. So I did tell Marie that, to let her know that, I've contacted them, and I've spoke to her children, and it did make her happy. And that she did tell me she wants to see her children, so I will be setting up a meeting for her to see her children. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, they will be able to help Marie find a job. Actually, I think we will be talking to them, but by next week they're going to want her to come in so they can speak to her, find out what her skill set is. She does have a degree, she is an art teacher, and hopefully we can get her a job so that she can start making money and getting, moving towards regaining custody of her children. Again, this was part of task 3, providing support. The immediate support was getting the power on, getting her food, getting her hydrated, and finding out about her children. And also, the last thing I did was I contacted the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, who referred me to the Glen Bay Outpatient Center of Beechwood. This is where Marie is going to get help with her depression and to make sure that her medication is regulated. This will be on an outpatient basis. And the reason I did that is because Marie, one of her major concerns is regaining custody of her children. She's not going to be able to do that if she is not working and functioning in life. So her plan is to get her job as an art teacher, work, maintain her household, and get her treatment so her depression's under control and her medication is regulated so that she can regain custody of her children. So outpatient treatment for Marie is the best option at this point. She'll be able to speak to a counselor about her depression and all the things that are on her mind. I remember when I first walked in and she was telling me there was nothing that could help this situation. She was hopeless. And I was able to tell her at least those 3 top resources that we could immediately get in place. There are alternatives and there is help for her. And that is how we took care of task number 4 in the hybrid model of crisis intervention. Task number 5, planning to establish control. The way we did that is I just spoke to her about her steps. To establish control of her life again, I'm going to work on the counseling, helping with the depression, getting her medication regulated, finding her a job. And the important thing about Marie, too, is being an art teacher was fulfilling to her. She needs something fulfilling to her. So going back to that type of job is going to be the best thing for her. And then she can work on, finding out, why she feels depressed and working on that. And then, of course, ultimately, the happiness for her would be regaining custody of her children. So we were able to talk about how she's going to establish that control. Then task number 6 is obtaining the commitment. Marie is fully committed to all of these things to get her life back under control. She was very grateful to me and to her sister, who stepped up and said that she would help her. A huge part of this is that her sister has stepped in to clean the house, to do the laundry, to, keep an open and positive atmosphere so that Marie can feel loved and supported. And I did let her know that any time that I'm here for her, I care about her, and all I want to do is see her succeed and be happy. And that's why I've also offered to go see her children with her if she'd like. And then task 7 is the follow-up. And I will be on a weekly basis following up with Marie, and especially after her first outpatient treatment, to see how it went and how she feels. I just want to make sure that, this outpatient treatment center is what is best for her. So this is the plan for the family. We use the hybrid model of prevention, tasks 1 to 7, to make sure that we covered everything for Marie. And my hope for the family is that Marie obtains her job and She gets help with her depression and her regulation of her medication, and then is able to regain custody of her children and live out her life with control. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation.